Have you ever looked up in the sky and wondered what was there? Higher than the birds, further than the moon, a whole host of fascinating objects spin in outer space. Let's imagine for a moment that we can leave the Earth behind and explore the solar system. We call it the solar system because everything in it is centered around the sun. The sun is a star. Like many stars you can see in the night sky, just many times close to us. Still, the sun is very far away from us, almost 93 million miles away. That's why it looks so small even after being the largest object in the solar system. In fact, the sun makes up more than 99% of the mass. The sun is what holds the solar system together. Its massive gravity is what holds the Earth and planets grounded instead of drifting out in the space. Without the sun, there would be no heat, there would be no light, plants wouldn't grow, and water would freeze, and nothing could survive. The sun gives us heat, light, because it is always burning, mostly hydrogen and helium, and burns at millions of degrees in the center. As we move away from the sun to explore the planets, the first planet that you will encounter will be Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. It is one of those planets which can be seen by the naked eye. Of course, it won't look like a planet, but would look like a bright star. Mercury is a lot like our moon. It's small and has a rocky surface with crater on it. It has no satellite of its own and has no air on it. You won't enjoy a visit to Mercury because it has no air and temperature is boiling hot in sun and freezing cold in shade. Mercury is the fastest planet and takes only 88 days to go around the sun. Amazing! Next is Venus, the second planet. Some people call Venus Earth's sister because two planets are very close in size and gravity. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. It's not as close to the sun as Mercury, but its thick carbon dioxide helps it to grab the heat and makes it warmer than its neighbor. It has a thick atmosphere, but not on where you can breathe. It is mostly made up of carbon dioxide and there are clouds of sulfuric acid. It is the second brightest object in the night sky. And if you look at the sunrise or the sunset, you will notice a bright star. You're looking at Venus. After Venus comes Earth, the third planet from the sun. Of course, you know all about Earth because that's the planet you've been living on. Earth is what is called the Goldilocks zone because it's not too hot and not too cold. Earth is the only planet to have life. Let's come to the fourth planet, Mars. It is also known as the red planet because iron oxide, a material like rust in the soil, gives it a reddish color. Mars is smaller than Venus and Earth. It is cold and rocky with a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide. There is water ice on Mars. Scientists are very interested in Mars because they think people can live there with the help of some special equipments. Right now, there are two special robots exploring the surface of Mars, sending information back to Earth. Mars has 2 moons. Scientists think they may be captured asteroids, and maybe they came from a big asteroid belt that is between Mars and Jupiter. Jupiter comes next, the 5th planet in the solar system. Jupiter is the largest planet and something called a gas giant. It is called this because it is really big and mostly made up of gases. Jupiter is so big that you have to place 11 Earths back to back to make Jupiter. Jupiter is also the third brightest star in the sky. You find Jupiter higher in the sky than Venus. Jupiter has at least 67 satellites that circle around it, but 55 of them are very small, only about as big as a mountain or smaller. Some of its moons are very large, and at least 2 of them are of the same size of the planet Mercury. One of its moons is the largest moon in the solar system. There is no surface to land, and even if there is surface to land on Jupiter, it is covered with storms much stronger than even the strongest storm on Earth. One storm that we know about can be seen from Earth. We call it the Great Red Spot, and it has been going on for at least 200 years. After Jupiter comes Saturn, another gas giant. Saturn is famous for its beautiful rings, although they look solid from a distance. The rings are actually made of many small ice particles as well as rocks and dust. Saturn also has 60 satellites orbiting around it. Saturn is the farthest planet that can be seen from the Earth without the help of a telescope. Uranus, the 7th planet from the Sun. Uranus is an ice giant, but smaller than Saturn and Jupiter. Uranus has rings around it, although they are much smaller than Saturn. Uranus has 27 known satellites. It is covered with blue clouds of methane, which give it a lovely color. Very similar to Uranus is Neptune. It is the 8th planet from the Sun. Neptune is another ice giant, and like Uranus, very similar, has methane in its atmosphere, so it too looks blue. Neptune takes 667 years to complete an orbit around the Sun. Now you may think that I've forgotten someone. Yes, Pluto was discovered in 1930 and was listed as the 9th planet in the solar system. In 2006, after 76 years of being listed as a planet, Pluto was declared a dwarf planet because it was something like a planet but much smaller. I hope you enjoyed exploring the solar system with me today.